What's going on, guys? Another story coming out of the tech sector today, as we have an article speaking about the fact that Microsoft has axed almost 2,000 employees this year so far. A spokesman framed the cuts as a performance-based thing. However, employment experts are skeptical on Microsoft's approach. Like I said at the beginning, this is not exclusive to Microsoft, but this is yet another big example of what we're seeing in the economy and in the market broadly as a whole. So Microsoft has reportedly axed around 2,000 employees so far this year, but the cuts are being announced as a byproduct of not declining macroeconomic conditions or the fallout from tariffs, but instead the company looking to eliminate based on performance. So this is an interesting way of looking at it, right? This is not the usual way these companies speak about things, especially at the minute. Apparently the cuts will only affect a small percentage of the overall workforce at Microsoft, which apparently is around about 228,000 people. However, employees at the company are still feeling the impact. So a Microsoft spokesperson, Frank Shaw, told Business Insider that the company is trying to give managers more tools to make expectations clear. Apparently, according to him, they aspire to have a high-performance culture and want to make sure managers have the ability to drive that and expectations are clear. So, a really interesting way of looking at this. And again, we are seeing a lot of different layoffs in a lot of different sectors and a lot of different companies. And this is a very interesting way of thinking about it. Now, before we go into a broader topic of conversation, I want to bring up this little summary, right? Microsoft firing workers. So Microsoft has been laying off employees across various divisions, including Xbox, Azure, and security. The company has said that the layoffs are based on performance reviews, as I say. Now, we can go back as far as 2023, right? Where Microsoft laid off around 10,000 employees. In 2024, we were looking at nearly 2,000. And in 2024 summer, we were looking at another 1,000 in the Azure, right? In 2024 September, they laid off around 650 employees from Xbox, and in January, they are also looking at laying off employees. So it's a broader trend over the past couple of years. You know, since 2023 at least, we're looking at well over 10,000 people, probably over 20,000 people nearly now. And again, we've seen this in a lot of companies. A big thing for companies like Microsoft, and obviously a broad amount of technology companies in the future, and perhaps even now, we're going to be seeing this a lot more, inevitably, because what we're seeing is we're seeing more efficient processes from AI. We've spoken about this in other companies, right? And it's these words that I want to highlight, right? Things like high performance culture, expectations. A lot of the time, these are wrapped up in a certain way, but looking at what we're seeing for the future, number one, we're in a precarious economic time to say the least. That's one way of looking at it. Number two, AI is certainly going to be a lot more efficient than a lot of humans, and I think this is in a lot of ways. It's marketed as a angle where it's simply about performance and it's not a large amount of the workforce, you know, a very small percentage. But look at the broader picture, right? It seems small. This company is firing people at a really, really astonishing rate over the past 2, 3, 4 years. And again, I brought this article up earlier, but MBA graduates from top schools, including Harvard, Northwestern, and Stanford as well, are having trouble finding jobs according to a new report. A lot of companies aren't hiring. Not only are they not hiring, they are firing workers. They are letting their employees go. It's a difficult economic time. It's a difficult time to get jobs. And especially with AI, it's not helping. You know, it's marketed in a certain way, but even as is spoken about in the article, a lot of the experts are skeptical about Microsoft's approach. This person says, let's call it what it is. These so-called performance evaluations are often less about genuine employee productivity and more about balancing the bottom line. This came from Career Nomad CEO Patrice Williams Lindo. She told Quartz that the profit margins, and when they start to shrink, performance metrics decide who stays and who goes. Like I say, now we look at the more broad picture, right? The broad economy. Is it so much to do with worker performance, or is it to do with the fact that yes, they are looking to optimize worker performance, but perhaps because of the state that the company is in, the state that the economy is in? I think these are the broader questions worth asking. I think these are things that get glossed over too much. Really worrying time out there in a lot of markets. But yeah, Microsoft is another company going in this direction. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I just wanted to bring this information to you.